Policy Committee on Industries, Intergovernmental Affairs, Culture and Tourism, and Committee on Appropriations.
And innovation. Today, we are gathered to deliberate on a topic that resonates deeply with our national realities, the imperative of mechanical engineering strategies for socio-economic development based on national budgets, challenges and potentials. A theme that speaks not only to the relevance of engineering thinking in national planning, but also to the urgent need for integrated scientific, data-driven approaches into our public financial management system. We are indeed privileged to have as our distinguished lecturer, Engineer Senator Yola Omishowe, a respected elder statesman, seasoned mechanical engineer, distinguished administrator, and politician of rare pedigree. With decades of experience spanning public infrastructure, legislative policy, and project finance, we have no doubt that this lecture today will be deeply insightful and practically impactful. I want to state here that when we are planning the MEDL, we had a lot of support from associates and friends of the distinguished senator. This shows that he has a lot of goodwill. And apart from the support they gave us, he took off greater part of the bill. In fact, we have never had it so good as far as history of MDLs is concerned. So we thank you, sir. We thank you for all your associates. Let me also seize this opportunity to extend our profound appreciation to His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for blessing this occasion with his esteemed presence. Your Excellency, your presence is a strong affirmation of the importance of engineering and innovation to national development, and we are deeply encouraged. And I wish to also state here that the Vice President actually has been a great father and a very good friend of the engineers, because I cannot really count the number of attended in person. Well, occasions that's concerning Nigerian Society of Engineers. So thank you, sir. And we are all aware that he was instrumental to one of us becoming the governor of a state. That is Magana Umara Zulu, who is doing incredibly well. Thank you, sir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this milestone 15th edition of MEDL, I wish to use this platform to announce our 2025 International Conference, Exhibition and Annual General Meeting, scheduled to hold between 14 and 17 October 2025 in Lagos. The theme of this year's conference is Promoting Sustainability, Sustainable Blue Economy through Technological Advancement, the Mechanical Engineering Perspective. This theme reflects our commitment to aligning engineering practice with the evolving global agenda on ocean sustainability, climate resilience, and economic diversification. It is believed that mechanical engineers have a central role to play in the realization of Nigeria's blue economic ambitions through innovations in maritime engineering, renewable energy, ocean resource management, and resilient coastal infrastructure. We therefore call on all government agencies, corporate organizations, development partners, and other well-meaning individuals to support this year's conference. We especially urge employers of mechanical engineers across sectors to sponsor their staff in attending. Our nation will be better served when our engineers are better equipped to contribute to sustainable development. Before I conclude, I'm compelled to address a matter of great importance that weighs heavily on our collective aspirations for progress as an institution. Our institution, despite its rich legacy and impactful contributions, currently operates from a borrowed building at its secretariat. And it is with a sense of urgency and optimism, aspiration that I bring this matter to the forefront. I am aware that acquiring an office complex is a substantial undertaking, and I call upon our esteemed members, industry partners, the government, and all wishers to come to our aid in this direction. As we proceed with today's lecture, I encourage everyone present to reflect deeply on how engineering can be more deliberately embedded into our national policy-making process, particularly in budgeting, planning and infrastructure delivery. Once again, I thank you all for honoring our invitation. To our distinguished lecturer, we look forward to your message with great anticipation. To our guests and stakeholders, we thank you for your continued support. And to the committee, the MEDL Planning Committee, under the leadership of our former National Chairman, Engineer Ayo Panoku of NSC, we thank you very much for doing this great work. And may God reward you abundantly. And to our members, let us remain steadfast in our resolve to advance engineering for national prosperity. Long live Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Please, another round of applause for national. All other protocols observed. I want to do that because I want to maximize the quality time we will gain, having the Vice President in our midst. Some of you will have some ideas you want to bring up. Put them together so that it can be part of what anybody who will come up here will say to the Vice President today. On behalf of the Council and entire membership of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I warmly welcome you all to this annual event, which is the Mechanical Engineers Distinguished Lecture. This year's theme, the imperative of engineering strategies for planning of national budget, is absolutely timely. In an era of complex challenges and limited resources, you will agree with me that the need for strategic, data-driven, and sustainable approaches to national planning is crucial. By training, our expertise and inherent problem-solving capabilities are uniquely positioned to contribute significantly to the critical process of national budget planning. By applying engineering principles of efficiency, optimization, risk assessment, and long-term sustainability, we can help ensure that our national resources are allocated effectively, that our infrastructure projects are sound, that our investments yield maximum impact for the benefit of all our citizens. Before we delve into the vital theme, I want to acknowledge and commend the tireless efforts of the Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers. Their dedication to advancing the frontiers of mechanical engineering in Nigeria is truly inspiring. The chairman and the entire executive committee of NIMEC, I say a resounding thank you. Thank you because, as you admitted yourself, you have never had it so good. And what you have brought into NIMEC, I hope you also bring it into the NSA as a whole and to Koren also. Bringing together leading minds of such critical discussion is a proof of your passion for the profession and your dedication to national development. The MEDL is a shining example of NIMEC's commitment to knowledge dissemination and professional development, and the NSC is immensely proud of your achievements. Today, we are particularly privileged to have with us a truly trailblazing engineer and astute politician, a man who embodied the intersection of engineering excellence and public service, Engineer Senator Ayola Mishore, FNSC, FENG, CON. Senator Mishore, we are deeply honored by your presence here today. Your willingness to share your perspective on this crucial theme is invaluable. With your vast experience as a distinguished engineer and a politician, and a former chairman of the Appropriation Committee of the Senate, you present a unique and insightful vantage point from which to address the imperative of integrated engineering strategies into national budget planning. Your credentials speak volumes, and we eagerly anticipate the wisdom and insights you will share with us. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to be our distinguished guest speaker. We are also immensely grateful to the presence of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic. I want to pause at this one to say that Madam President would have loved to come here, sir, to receive you personally. But she went for a conference in Houston, and she's still on her way. In fact, she's in Lagos now on her way to Abuja. She really would have loved to. And I just hope that I want to, on her behalf, make a request that when she comes back, that you create time maybe to receive her in your office so that she can share some of the things she wants to share with you, sir. Okay. Today, we are particularly privileged to have, We are immensely grateful for the presence of all the other dignitaries that have joined the Vice President here today, all the ministers. You are duly recognized and acknowledged. We thank you so very much. And I also make a request that, please, even when the Vice President is not coming, do try to join us also, because there's so much that engineering can contribute to whatever you do in your ministry, be it finance, health, blue economy, and everything that you do. There is nothing that you do that is not engineering related one way or the other. And I'm sure in the course of your duty, you have found that out. I hereby urge all present to make enriching contribution to the discussion that will follow. Your diverse perspectives are essential for a comprehensive and impactful outcome. I wish every one of you successful deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam President, represented by Engineer Kashim Abdul. Please, another round of applause for Madam President, please.
When we're young and we see a very good car, we say this is a piece of engineering. When we see any good machine, maybe musical or whatever, we say this is a piece of engineering. But today, we are going to be told what the effect of all these pieces of engineering will be or bring to the economic development of our country. And I think we are in a safe hand. We are in the hand of an engineer who had been a people's leader, a politician. And who I'm sure will be able, to tell us the path to how Nigeria will be one of those countries, that will be regarded as leading in what we call digital technology. Engineering is moving from the spanner and the hammer into the arena of deep knowledge and calculations. And I think we are there now. And I wish us the best. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you so much, sir. As a powerful address from a special guest of honor, I'd like to recognize the presence of former Vice President of the Nigeria Society of Engineers and former Vice President of World Federation of Engineering Organization, Engineer Valerie Agberegba, fellow Nigeria Society of Engineers. You are welcome, ma.
Ali, the National Chairman, Nigeria Institute of Mechanical Engineers, Engineer Al-Hassan Abdul Mohammed, representative of the Governor of Lagos State, members, the creme de la creme of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and fellows of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers present, members of the press, honored guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I did not come to you today as an expert in your field. Far from it, I am here to listen, to learn, and to salute the men and women whose journeys has brought humanity to the peak of its aspirations. Every civilization emerges from the imagination of engineers. Indeed, we owe every web of the Industrial Revolution to the courage of engineers. They are the reason we believe in what seems like miracles, the reason we have brought our ideas to life and translated our fantasies into functioning systems. Without engineers, the world as we know it will have remained a vast field of redundant laboratories. This is why engineers remain the living template for any society in search of order, because you make things happen. So I'm here as a student of your excellence. We know that if your professional ancestor, the Scottish inventor James Watt, had not dared to refine the steam engine, you can only imagine the phase at which the first industrial revolution will have unfolded. He didn't only alter the course of science, he taught us a moral lesson. The idea in itself is meaningless unless it is put into practice. This is the fundamental ethic of your discipline. Thought must always translate into action, and vision must always count utility. In the same spirit, public policy is no different. It is a theater for testing. It is a theater for testing the practicability of ideas. Like you, we are charged with turning problems into opportunities, transforming theories into measurable outcomes, and ensuring that our solutions are both scalable and sustainable. The only difference is that while you work with machines and structures, we work with people and systems. But fundamentally, the logic remains the same. If it doesn't work, it doesn't count. Engineers teach us the power of numbers, of exactitude, of efficiency, of alignment. The sanctity of numbers is the soul of governance. It is the compass of every policy that works, the fulcrum upon which national development pivots. When the numbers are up, the consequences are there. Plans fail, trust erodes, and progress stalls. This is why your approach, your discipline, and your precision are invaluable to nation building. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is himself a man of numbers, an accountant extraordinaire, a thinker grounded in the discipline of evidence, and a leader governed by the clarity of facts. He understands the peril of building policies on the sands of assumption. He knows, as you do, that the nation cannot move forward without accurate measurements of its revenues, its deficits, and its prospects. It is this fidelity to facts that has guided these difficult but necessary decisions to fix the Nigerian economy. From confronting the long-standing subsidy regime that had become an enduring shackle around the nation's ambitions, to facing the grim realities of a debt-to-revenue ratio that threatens the very foundation of our fiscal stability. These are not decisions of convenience. They are decisions of courage. They are born of a commitment to engineer a nation that works for its people. Today's theme, the imperative of engineering strategies for the planning of national budget, invites us to revisit our budgetary architecture through a new lenses. What if we approach the national budget the way an engineer approaches a machine? Each bolt and each beam aligned, every weight and pressure accounted for, each output carefully tested against the design blueprint. What if budget planning wasn't just a routine exercise in figures, but a technical operation in nation building, driven by strategy, logic, and long-term calibration? This is the thinking we are institutionalizing in the current administration. We are not just budgeting for survival. We are budgeting for reality. We are budgeting for transformation. We are building systems that speak to productivity, to sustainability, and to progress. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are more than builders of machines. You are builders of the future. And the nation we seek to build will not rise on political promises alone. It must rise on the backbone of engineering. That is why we are here, and that is why we must continue this dialogue. So I invite each of you to see this gathering as another junction in our collective journey towards a Nigeria that measures up to its potential, a Nigeria that honors the engineer not just in words, but in policy. A Nigeria that turns every idea into impact. I want to most especially acknowledge the main actor of the day, Senator Engineer Iola Omishore, for his passion, for his commitment to the engineering profession. He sleeps with engineering in his mind. He wakes up with engineering in his mind. Thank you so much for your devotion. I'm also here as a politician. You are very powerful in the Ipe Moda Keke axis. An election is coming in Osun next year. I'm here to catalyze that your contacts in Osun so that together we can deliver Osun to the APC from next year. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Your Excellency, sir. Your Excellency, please hold on, sir, just for a few seconds, as I will be inviting the National Chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineers, Engineer Al-Hassan Abdul Mohammed, to appreciate His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator.
The topic is imperative mechanical engineering strategies for socio-economic development based on national budget, challenges and potentials. Actually, before in my lecture, I had a view. But when Chief Secretary spoke, I told Baba that you have changed my view on this lecture. I have to capture the essence of good bicycle, good motorcycle, and good automobiles. Fellow engineers and distinguished Nigerians at this meeting, I consider this a unique privilege to stand here addressing this topic of common interest to all of us, particularly as we are in the mid-2025. This topic is with a view to examining the significant roles mechanical engineers should play or are playing in improving the socio-economic status of the society in tandem with the national budget of the year. The Nigerian budget is drafted ultimately with the sole aim for the upliftment of the people in the hope of exploiting available potentials towards solving all palpable talent challenges for the citizenry. The lower and the upper houses, that the Senate and the Reps, as well as the executive arm of government, have done what they probably knew how to do best. That is, present the budget draft to the National Assembly and approving same by the National Assembly, and they are sent by the President. But the budget without innovative implementation strategies will remain like the carcass of a vehicle, though with engine of common and capacity potentials, but without wheels. We are going nowhere. Engineering, however, is a problem-solving activity, which everybody has access to it earlier today. Both the Vice President and Shibisa Akande, the engineering makes life easy. Engineering looks for convenience for everyone and makes life comfortable for all of us to enjoy. That's why engineers are always working, while people are enjoying the benefits of engineering searches. And while there are diverse disciplines of engineering profession, the intent of this lecture is to navigate the opportunities and responsibilities that mechanical engineers must anticipate in contributing significantly to achieving the expectation of the government and society. The engineer is familiar with the rules of moving from problem identification to general probable solutions, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Such design process is equally relevant in addressing the current discourse we must walk the talk as engineers living in this society, in providing viable and effective strategies. Situational analysis. Our dear country, Nigeria of today, is faced with numerous socio-economic challenges. Some are mechanical solutions are urgently required. Let me highlight these few problems. 1, poverty. Africa, despite that Nigeria is the largest economy, Nigeria has a significant poverty rate, with more than half of our population living less than $1 a day. This lecture is in the program. You can look at your program, because we can't discuss engineering lecture, although it's still finance-based, without a graph and diagrams. So I have a graph, the histogram and the epitogram, looking from 2014 to 2022, and the variables. You can see the graph rose 2014, dovetail up to 2017, reached an optimum, made it optimum, and continued to drop in 2021, maybe due to COVID. The monetary worth of all goods and services in Nigeria for the last 10 years has shown unfavorable decline, and it is important to ask, what are the challenges mechanical engineers may solve in terms of improving the level of industrialization and quality of labor in contributing to government policies and business capitalization towards improving the national GDP. Unemployment. Currently, the country is characterized by high level of unemployment, particularly among the youths, with the consequences of contributing to social unrest and economic instability. Although recent reports indicated some decline in unemployment rate, the concurrent deindustrialization and the decline in GDP are pointers to the reality of unemployment. It's followed by another graph looking at 2014 to date, with the variables on the left side and the graph dropping up to 3.27%. In view of the relevance of mechanical engineering in virtually all industries, we must innovate new strategies to upscaling the micro, small, and medium businesses. Number 3, inadequate infrastructure and environmental degradation. Nigeria's infrastructure, including roads, electricity, and water supply, are underdeveloped, thereby hindering economic growth and quality of life. The environment is also continuously under the threat from the issues of deforestation, pollution, and climate change. It is therefore necessary to navigate viable engineering solutions, particularly in the field of mechanical engineering, in addressing this myriad of problems. Other challenges facing this country, where mechanical engineers will really feel great impact, are in the areas of healthcare challenges, increasing need for quality education, and security challenges. We will now set the stage. In an attempt to address these challenges, this budget of 2025 national budget seeks to harness the larger part of revenue from oil and gas, non-oil resources, including taxes, customs, VAT, and other levies, in addition to privatization proceeds and facilitation of supportive loans to fund the budget proposals. While the expected contributions from oil and gas can be determined, we need to explore the available potentials of non-oil sources. The mechanical engineer can then place strategies in transforming the available resources into economic products, resting on the various aspects of our profession, namely controls and robotics, fluid mechanics and thermal systems, mechanics of materials, renewable energy and environmental flows, computational engineering, automotive design, machine design and development, mechatronics, robotics, combustion and artificial intelligence. It's also important to review the non-oil natural and agricultural resources as potential feedstocks for the engineering innovations across the nation. This is shown on the Nigerian map with different colors, shows this on the graphical forms for ease of understanding. That's page 8, page 6 of 11. Nigerian vast resources of base metals are calling for exploitation in enhancing the well-being of the citizenry. Complementary potentials are shown as follows too. The next diagram of Nigeria shows the base metals, the solid minerals, with the locations over Nigeria and how blessed Nigeria can be if you can exploit these resources conventionally, not illegal mining. Strategies for socio-economic impact. What are the strategies that may align with our projections of national budgets? Assuming the available national potentials and addressing the identified national challenges, it is important that our institute will focus more clearly on the following areas for sustainable economic development. 1, energy and power generation. With Nigeria's growing energy demands, the mechanical engineers are in high demands in providing increasing opportunities in power generation, transmission, and distribution, occasioned by inadequacy of national grid in meeting demands sufficiently. Many places are faced with blackouts, prolonged brownouts, oftentimes grid collapse. About 2.5 decades ago, I examined the strategies of implementing national grid supplies, sustainable renewable energy sources in my MSc degree thesis on one of the first generation universities in Nigeria as a case study. Today, the university is currently paying hundreds of millions of naira as monthly energy bill, but has now learned by experience to harness renewable energy alternatives. This initiative is actually necessary in more fields and industries. The mechanical engineers are required in the coming years to develop a wide range of solar solutions, portable and in-built solar system, from solar-powered devices to solar generators, as well as well-known PVC systems. We may engage in such projects directly or motivate the younger generation in developing innovative solutions. The imminent gas economy of the nation has been a major driver of innovation in automotive engineering, with the heightened interest recently in the last 1 year of the CNG-driven automobiles, gas turbines for power transmission, and enhancing of power-focused flaring gas settling engine. All these are in addition to conventional assignments of mechanical engineering in design and maintenance of the existing generation, transmission, and distribution systems. The student of engineering, the people in engineers, and consulting experts must proactively carve out its grand trajectories towards achieving the anticipated goals of national economic development. Oil and gas. Increased activities in oil and gas is expected in the coming year. It is imperative and very clear that the thought-out strategies must be put in place for maximum benefits in the industry. The government must be steered towards public investment in necessary infrastructures, like the design and maintenance of pressurized transportation vessels, rail lines, dealing facilities, and including conveyance vehicles. The young engineers must be systematically equipped to understanding the theory and practical skill in development of structure, safety requirements, and this should in turn inform the dynamic engineering education, increase awareness of safety handling, and concerns the use of domestic gas cylinders. Number 3 is automotive, aerospace, and aviation. There's an urgent need for further strengthening the drive for local production of automobiles and replacement parts of automobiles. The broad family of mechanical engineering profession, from artisans, technicians, technologists, and engineers, as well as stakeholders. And with the growing aviation industry, mechanical engineers find opportunities in aircraft maintenance, repairs, and overhaul. Consequently, I appreciate the drive towards enacting and enduring impactful policies and practices in education, professional practices, and regulations. While promoting local assembly, concerned efforts must be made in areas of part generation and production of consumables like brake pads, tires, and windscreens, some of which were done in the past in this country. The growing field of microprocessor control devices will be accorded corresponding attention. Construction and infrastructure development. Nigeria needs to invest heavily in infrastructure development, that is roads, bridges, ports, and energy, to drive economic growth and development. The growth in building infrastructure development is expected to be on increase in the coming years. Therefore, the conventional roles of mechanical engineers in building services, equipment maintenance, automation will remain unabated. The bottom-top approach must be therefore employing the needed manpower, sustainable, investing in human capital development, including education, health, and skills development. Healthcare and security. In view of the high exchange rates, that is the rate of dollar and various currencies against Nigerian currency, the local mechanical engineers must therefore consider rapid development and deployment of locally made and entrenched to produce essential biomedical equipment and instruments to reduce hospital fees and hospital tourism. The ongoing efforts in robotics and artificial intelligence must be sustained and further advanced. Finally, Nigeria has tremendous potential for socio-economic development, but we need to address challenges and seize the opportunities to achieve this sustainable and inclusive growth. While the anticipated budget is not unattainable, the issue of mechanical engineers surely has a huge role to play, deploying all our specializations in wheeling the country desired destination. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in summary to what I just discussed, there are some pending issues in Nigeria which I want all stakeholders, particularly our leaders in political, our Professor Oduayena, our senators and House of Reps. That's what they call National State Council today, trying to create jobs for youths and unemployed graduates. The current registered engineers, artisans, technicians, technologists, and we have what they call ITF, Industrial Training Fund. The ITF is supposed to fund CWIS, industrial attachment. But today that's aberration. That the ITF, being a fund, is trying to compete with the engineering and coding, which is an anomaly. And the total effect in Nigeria today is that in another 5-10 years, there will be crisis in the provision for these artisans, engineers who are supposed to be trained. For the first time in other professions in this country, engineers have gone far to sign what we call Washington Accord by Korean. To bring the points home to all of us, you find out that if medical doctors or lawyers go abroad to practice, they have conversion exams to make it simpler. But today, engineers don't do a conversion exam anywhere in the world. Anywhere we are engineers in Nigeria, we're engineers in Washington, we're engineers in Sydney, we're engineers in Germany. But for us to achieve this senior accord, it's a temporary attainment. We need cooperation of the government of Nigeria to ensure that the respective things are followed and the curriculum are followed strictly. Those are the small things that can enhance development in this schools. Once again, I thank all of us for listening, and I believe that at the end of the day, I say that engineering is life. Without engineering, there's no life. And this is just to show that impact of engineers when it comes to our budgeting, to attaining our goals. In as much as our budget is realizable, we must ensure that we walk the talk and ensure this is attained. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Innovation is the point of the 15th distinguished lecturer, mechanical engineering distinguished lecturer, His Excellency, engineers. So, you allow me to PhD appearance in the mechanical engineering. Please keep that round of applause when you come back to your seats.
The founding chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Chief B.C. Akande, and of course, my leader, Chief Yola Omishori, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First, let me congratulate the Nigerian Society of Mechanical Engineers for this very laudable initiative of organizing distinguished lecture series to bring forth new ideas and interrogate what government and what society is doing with a view to improve our country. I think this is a very, very commendable initiative that we must all applaud. And I believe all professionals must learn from this and put together machineries like this to regularly interrogate and bring forth new ideas to improve Nigeria. Of course, like the President said, mechanical engineering is also particularly important in the health sector. We use a lot of machineries which has to be, apart from being developed, also maintained. And to that extent, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, one of the very important aspects of the health sector renewal investment initiative, which is the blueprint that the government is using to deliver universal health coverage, is to pay a lot of attention to biomedical engineering. And you must know that we have biomedical engineering schools in quite a number of our training institutions. And if you look at our budgets since last year and also this year, a lot of funding is being made available to improve our biomedical engineering schools, to train more biomedical engineers, and to ensure that we're able to maintain domestically some of the sophisticated machines that we use in providing healthcare to our people. I believe that the institution has a lot of role to play within this area. Biomedical engineers are very important, and they are essential elements to deliver healthcare to our people. So we seek the continued cooperation of the institution to be able to continue to develop in this respect. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to say a few words, and I want to wish the institution a happy, distinguished lecture. Thank you.
When I was coming for this lecture today, I had a few friends with me, and I said my friend was going to deliver the annual lecture of his professional institute. He said, is there an institute of politicians? I said, Yola is not only a politician, he's an engineer, an academician. Oh, he said he would like to be here. He's here in the crowd, but I will just... it's good to see another face of Yola Mishori. I listened attentively to the lecture, and the only comment I want to make is that, yes, engineering is the very life of any nation. Engineering is the very essence of our development. Let me just make a comment without sounding political, that I think recently, about a week ago, I heard about the Nigeria First initiative of the federal government. For me, if it is well articulated and well prosecuted, it's not just a policy, it's an ideological shift. And it's very important that we pay attention to it. I have information that they are putting it together. Engineering must be a critical aspect of it. More than 98% of our roads are given to foreign firms. And I don't see any engineering sophistication in road building. For more than 50 years, we've been producing engineers. Yet, more than 90% of our capital project goes to Germany, goes to China, and all of that. So, for me, and this is very important, the beginning of Nigeria First project is that our road construction will be given to Nigerian engineers. We've been studying engineering for more than 60 years. My information had it that the first Nigeria bridge, actually, the design, that Nigerian engineers were actively involved. I know that Professor Ladapo was involved. It was almost 60, 70 years ago. But the second Nigeria bridge is entirely handled by foreign firms. The second Nigeria bridge. So I think part of our strategy for development is that we must deliberately, as government policy, empower our engineers, so that in the next couple of years, we can have 10 Julius Bergers in this country. And out of the abundance of capital that they have accumulated, they can now invest in research and innovation. And this is absolutely important. I keep saying it. Every year, our budget. The capital flight component in terms of what goes to foreign firms that can be handled by Nigerians is almost scandalous. So a week ago when I heard about Nigeria First policy by the federal government, I was excited. I hope it will be well put together. For me, it's not a policy, it's an ideological shift, and we must pursue it with logical conclusion. Once again, I want to thank all of you. The other thing is that there's no nation whose engineering can develop beyond the vision of leadership. It is leadership, the leadership that can see tomorrow, the leadership that says, look, we want to land our men in the moon within a decade. And it involved a lot of engineering work, a lot of innovation, and they got it done. So part of this Nigeria First project should be, where should we be in engineering in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and let's work towards it. Once again, your last congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Because of the want of time, permit me to appreciate and stand on the already established protocol. I am standing here on behalf of my boss and our leader, the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, GCON, whatever I say here is Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas that say it. Whatever I will say on my own, I will let you know. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank God Almighty Allah for giving me this opportunity to be here as a representative of the Right Honorable Speaker and to witness this occasion as a Chairman House Committee on Science, Engineering of the 10th House of Representatives. It is both a honor and a privilege to stand before you today and address this August gathering on a topic of greater significance on our national development. I most sincerely commend the executive for this thought-provoking theme. In quote, the imperative of engineering strategies for planning of national budget. Unquote. In our world where resources are scarce and the demand of citizens are ever increasing, the systematic planning of our national budget is not just a necessity, but a lifeline. To produce a robust and efficient national budget, there is need for strategic, innovative, and engineering drive approach. Why engineering? Because engineering is not just about machines and infrastructure, it is about problem-solving, precision, collaborations, and long-term sustainability. For us as legislators, the national budget is not merely a financial statement, but a blueprint for national development. It reflects the priorities of a nation and determines how resources will be allocated to various sectors such as health, education, environment, science, defense, social policies, infrastructure, security, and agriculture. This is where engineering strategies came to bear. Engineering affords us the opportunity to analyze systems, understand constraints, and create solutions that are efficient and effective. Applying this mindset to budget planning enables government to design long-term, scalable solutions rather than short-term fixes. Utilize data and modeling tools to predict economic trends and stimulate policy impact. Integrate sustainability into financial planning, ensuring environmental and economic resilience. Prioritize projects based on feasibility studies and cost-benefits analysis. This helps allocate resources where intelligently ensuring every fund spent delivers maximum impact. Furthermore, in an era of rapid technological change, engineering offers the framework for digital transformation of budget system. Today, developed countries can monitor expenditure in real time, mitigate corruption, and improve transparency. The benefits are enormous, and as a nation that is driven to lead over African countries and maintain our place as the giant of Africa, we must take advantage of these engineering strategies. Finally, for our nations to achieve sustainable development and respond effectively to unforeseen challenges, we must embed engineering strategies into our budget planning process, because it is imperative mechanism to ensure that our fiscal policies are resilient, effective, and future-ready for the nations to aspire to build. Honestly, I appreciate the organizers of this event, because I am just coming from another occasion in the with the Science and Technology Ministry. I said, let me reiterate, Nigeria is spending trillions of naira year in, year out, fighting insurgency. And I said this to the minister and those that are professionals in science, technology, engineering, and innovation. From now to 1 billion years, we cannot defeat the insurgency, because our approach is completely negative. In the modern world, wars or incidences are being classified to understand the magnitude, so that you can be able to profile the modus and ways you can approach it. The insurgency we're having is a guerrilla warfare, no common front. So bombs and guns has no business there. Only for response, you need all those things. We are spending billions buying bombs, throwing bombs. It's not like, it's only technology can defeat insurgency, because it's a guerrilla warfare. I use this to provoke my brothers in the engineering sector to be able to tinker along the line of what we are facing in this country. Yes, we need budget. If we need the budget, what do we do with the budget? That is very important. Our food security, what do we need? It's technology, it's knowledge. The knowledge belongs to you. You are the technocrats and you are the engineers. Now, in the modern world, in this hall, you can farm almost 10 times what you can produce the way we are doing outside. Because of what? Because of knowledge driven through engineering, science, and innovation. Thank you very much for listening.
The current president, can you come up?
On behalf of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers, and indeed on behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I'd like to present this to you, Your Excellency, as acknowledgement of your presence here today. It's my plea that you find an auspicious place in your office.
I was actually expecting a standing ovation for the Vice President of the Republic of Nigeria.